everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the standalone books that I can't wait to get to in 2022. I started compiling a list of all the books I wanted to read. It was absolutely massive. I talked about in my favourite books of 2021 that I can't pick favourites. I struggle to narrow lists down, and I thought what I would do is I would do a book standalone list and a series list. So these are the standalone books. I believe they're standalones. That, as far as I'm concerned, are standalones, and these are the ones that are top of my list for 2022. I hope the lighting is okay. The light is starting to set outside, but if I put a light on, it just completely washes me out, and it's, yeah. So I hope the lighting's okay in this video. Apologies if it's not. I'm going to continue playing, and I hopefully will fix that by the next one. So without further ado, let's get into the list. This is literally random. This isn't like, this is the first one I want to get to. This is just a random pile, and this is just how I've managed to stack them. So yes, the top one on the pile is the On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This was really, really kindly gifted to me in a Christmas gift swap with from Lucy at Books Lucy Reads on Instagram. And I just really, really like the idea of this one. I feel like I'm going to want, at the beginning of the year, something kind of light and fluffy and easy to read. I probably won't leave it until summer to read it. This is about two sworn enemies, and I believe someone gets married, and I think everyone comes down with food poisoning or something, or everyone becomes poorly. They then can't attend the honeymoon, and these two sworn enemies end up going on the honeymoon together. I can kind of guess where it's going to go, but I'm sure this is going to be a wild ride. I love this sort of thing. I love enemies to lovers, and don't like bullies to lovers. Don't like that, but I like enemies to lovers. And I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm sure I am. And thank you again to Lucy for very, very kindly gifting me this. Can't wait. As I mentioned in my books I enjoyed in 2021 video, I read Bridgerton, and I read a few sort of like Regency era books in 2021, and it kind of reignited my passion for revisiting some more classics and looking at reading more from Jane Austen and more of the books I've got on my shelves that I haven't read yet that fit the classic bill. One of them being Emma by Jane Austen. I haven't read this. I'm sure I've seen a movie adaptation or something, but I want to read more of my Jane Austen catalogue that I've got. Backlist, can you call it a backlist? I've got lots by her, but I haven't read a lot. I've read Pride and Prejudice. I've read Mansfield Park. I can't see the rest of her books, but I feel like there are holes in my Jane Austen knowledge, and I thought Emma would be a good one to kind of delve back into Jane Austen with, because I roughly know the story. So I believe she is known for being a bit of a matchmaker, and I think the story is kind of all a fallout of finding out maybe, yeah, who's right for her, I think. I don't know an awful lot about it, but you know what? Sometimes that's really quite nice when you go into a book not knowing too much. The next book I've got on my pile is by Siren M. Lane, and it's The Girls of Pearl Harbor. I read in December, what book did I read? What was it called? Hearts of Resistance. And it made me pick back up my Siren M. Lane books, find out which one was the next one that I kind of had on my list by her to read. I don't know an awful lot about this, other than it is about, it's kind of, I think, the US Army nurses, and it's all to do with the kind of fallout of the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. I'll be honest in that this is probably a part of the war I'm not massively knowledgeable about, so I think this will be really quite interesting to read. And I love all of Siren M. Lane's work that I've read so far. So looking forward to this one. Hopefully it's going to be really knowledgeable and going to make me more knowledgeable. Hopefully it's going to be filled with lots of information about it. And hopefully it will be insightful as well. I don't know if it's just my phone that's going dark because of, or if it's the camera as well. So sorry if the lighting's awful in this video. Now, the next book I'm saying is a standalone. Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, because as far as I'm concerned, this is part of the Cosmere, which is kind of like a bigger universe, but isn't actually part of a series, and I believe it's a standalone novel in its own right, I believe. And I've been told that this is the one that I should read first. it before I read First Era Mistborn. So The Final Empire. Yeah, The Final Empire. I always get them the wrong way around because I think The Final Empire should be the last book because it's the final. I don't know a lot about this, but all I know is that I really want to read Brandon Sanderson's work. I've read Skyward and I really enjoyed that, but that's his sort of like YA sci-fi novel series. I really want to get into the Cosmere, and like I say, this is the place that I've been told is the place to start. So, spoiler alert, what do you think is going to be on my top series of 2022 to read? Can you guess? The next book is The Siren by Kiera Cass. This is quite a small book. If you watched my 2021 top reads video, you'll know that I read the selection series. I really enjoyed it, and I picked this up for something. I'm sure it was a really good deal when I got it, and it was like really cheap, and it was like couldn't turn it down. And I really want to read more from Kiera Cass because, like I say, I really enjoyed the selection series, and I feel like it will be a quick, fun, engaging read. I'm hoping. Again, I don't know an awful lot about it. Love is a risk worth taking. I'd waited an eternity for this. I'd have waited all over again if I had to. I was meant to kiss this boy, designed to be held by him. All the careful postures I held melted away and I pulled him closer. We were stars, we were music, we were time. A heart-pounding romance from the best-selling author of the selection series. I believe this is kind of like... am I right in thinking it's like Little Mermaid? I'm not sure, but I'm really looking forward to it. Nonetheless, I also mentioned about how I wanted to read more Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which was very kindly gifted to me by Daisy for my birthday, so thank you very much, Daisy. I believe this is about a couple that after a year of marriage, is it a year of marriage? Maybe not after a year of marriage, but they come up with a conventional plan after their marriage reaches the breaking point to take a year off in the hope of finding a way to fall in love again. 1 year apart and only one rule: they cannot contact each other. And I just thought this was a really interesting concept. I think there is also another book that Taylor Jenkins Reid has written, which is about a woman that I think loses her husband after they've been married for not that long, and I keep getting them muddled up. I'm sure it's Taylor Jenkins Reid that's written it. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's work. I have read quite a lot by her now, and I'm just kind of on a journey to reading everything she's written because she's amazing, and I can't wait for... Oh my gosh, all my books are falling over. I can't wait for more from her. Really can't. The next book, again, was very kind of gifted to me for my birthday, from Lorna at Book Lover Lorna, is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. I have heard so much about this, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really know an awful lot what it's about, but every time I hear someone talking about it, they're only talking about it positively. So let's read the blurb and let's find out together. Ove is almost certainly the grumpiest man you'll ever meet. He thinks himself surrounded by idiots, joggers, neighbours who can't reverse a trailer properly, and shop assistants who talk in code. But isn't it rare these days to find such old-fashioned clarity of belief and deed, such unswerving conviction about what the world should be, and a lifelong dedication to making it just so? In the end, you will see there is something about Ove that is quite irresistible. I just really looking forward to this. I think my other half has just got home, so we're going to have to wrap this up quite quickly. And the final book on this list is A Witch in Time by Constance Sayres. I saw this everywhere on Instagram when this was £2. It sounds absolutely amazing. I've heard really good things about it, and I believe it's about a witch in time. I believe it's about a woman that kind of lives multiple lives, and I think this one's going to be really interesting. Really interesting. Says in 1895, 16-year-old Juliet begins a passionate doomed romance with a married artist. In 1932, aspiring actress Nora escapes New York for the bright lights of Hollywood and a new chance at love. In 1970, Californian musician Sandra's secret love affair threatens to tear her band apart. And in 2012, Helen is starting to remember the vivid details of lives that never belonged to her. Bound to her lover in 1895 and trapped by his side ever since, Helen has lived through multiple lifetimes under different names, never escaping her tragic endings. Only this time she might finally have the power to break the cycle. Can't wait to read this. Can't wait to read this. But I would love to know Obviously, this is but a few. I plan on reading lots more books, but I would love to know what is top of your list to read in 2022, standalones wise. I'm not sure when I'll get the opportunity to film my series video, but I'll get to that soon, and I'll let you know all the series I want to tackle or finish in 2022. But I hope everyone has an amazing Christmas and New Year, or amazing holidays if you don't celebrate, and I'll see you all in my next video.